Grand Council of Haven City, for heinous acts and crimes against the people, you are hereby banished to the Wasteland for life.
This is a death sentence, Vigor. There must be another way.
Your protest was overruled. This dark eco-freak is dangerous. Now drop the cargo! This is an outrage! I am outraged beyond words! Although I do have something to say. Not...
challenge is for the single best hang time in a vehicle jump. Get more air, beat the record, and I'll give up the loot. You did it, kid. I'm happy for you, but not for long.
I miss the old man. We can't win this war. Take them all out! We need backup! Incoming target! No! for the guard!
We may have a way to reach Freedom HQ. Jinx here has a plan.
Hey, Jackie boy! Long time no see. I think you got a boomer of a plan here.
That's just all part of the package, baby. That's just who I am. I just gotta reach down inside and...
I hope this game's fun. I mean, I do my part. I'm practically carrying the whole thing, you know.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's a funny thing because there's a lot of pressure on the mic. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like 5 or 6 people watching you at once, and they feed you the lines, and I tell you, it's never good enough. Oh, they just want more. But I gotta tell you at the same time, it's a lot of fun, you know. I do have fun working, and I love the people. I love, you know, people are interesting to me, but just as long as they don't get too close. Yeah, they have me in a booth here, and I have this thing about people getting too close, so they have to stay sort of outside the booth, and then I do my thing in here, and then I go outside. But I don't shake hands, because I got a thing about germs. Yeah, that's why I keep this thing right here on my belt, see? And I just squeeze it, it's a dry wash for the hands, and then no germs. Anyway, yeah, and the other thing I'm always very demanding about is water. I gotta have plenty of water, because my throat gets real dry. It's not easy being Vin. It's tough in this... Yeah, the glow's good.
Well, to be quite frank, I had to drop some weight for this part, but I think it was worth it. Yes, I'm at a lean and mean 520 right now. It took some work to get down to there. I've got a personal trainer and the whole bit, you know. I ate him, but not before I lost a good amount. I don't play games. They're too hard on my heart. Blood pressure and all, you know. I can't get the character to do the thingy, you know, jump right or spin. I just don't have the game gene. I could play for years on the same level and never win, so I let Jack and Daxter play for me.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's a funny thing because there's a lot of pressure on the mic. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like...
I want to be...
Yeah, the glow's good, you know, but it's funny down here. I try a moose to fight it, sort of to fight the sheen, because it really, with the lights down here and whatnot, it really has this sheen to it. And I picked me up some of this, it just fights the sheen. It's sort of a moose. You want to try it? Not too close. Well, I wanted to, hey...
Yes, well...
Games are for wimps. Get out in the real world. It's called the sun, that round bright thing in the sky. Jeez. Oh, no, seriously, though, this is gonna be one hell of a game. World is enormous. Scenery, state-of-the-art. The action is sizzling. I only wish I was getting some back-end points, you know? I did it for the money. I do everything for the money. Hey, you know, I got a serious mortgage in Beverly Hills. The story, well, I mean, you know, to be honest, the writers were, well, let's just say there were a few plot errors, and some of the characters were painfully two-dimensional. And what was that stilted, on-the-nose expository dialogue crap I was fed with? Ah, jeez. Otherwise, no, I love the script.
Well, you know, sometimes I just get a little angry. I like to have my own personal space, and when people invade it, I just get mad and, you know, I can't.
Well, there was the time when Tess and I were caught in a hip hog. Ooh, it was a hot set and we were, you know, getting into our characters. Fun times, fun times.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's a funny thing because there's a lot of pressure.
Okay, so when we first get our scenes and we listen to the audio, we get to sit down and look at what we're going to do for the whole scene. This scene presented a challenge in that there was a lot of stuff going on with not a lot of stuff going on. There was, you know, we find out about the father relationship. Damus, you know, slowly dies away, and then Viger shows up, and so what I tried to do, mainly setting up this scene, was just try to figure out the position that they're getting to have this heart-to-heart. I was also kind of constrained by Damus being trapped under a truck, so I couldn't really do a lot of stuff with the cameras. But once I set up the pose, I just really went around and tried to play with all the camera angles to try to get the most emotional response I could, because just the scene is so heavy. That flashback there was actual animation from the kid from Jak 2. And now Viger coming up, he's always really a lot of fun to work with. The readings we get from Phil, who's also the voice of Sig, amazingly enough, are just always great. So, again, you know, we have, you know, them conversing back and forth with just an amount of space in between them. I couldn't really have a lot of action, so I just really had to work with the emotional content back and forth, and just try to play off of that. Okay, so Viger's about to take off, and this posed a challenge for me as well, because Jak's just kind of, you know, having to ignore the fact that his dad just died, and then he just found that out, and it was kind of hard to bring the emotion back down to you know, to get us back into the game and get us on to the next level. Okay, on this scene, I tried to do a little different entrance. I was getting tired of Jak and Dax walking in with Dax on his shoulder, same time, you know, every scene. So I thought it'd be fun if Dax just kind of came flying in and grabbed Tess. Now it was kind of fun to see her kind of go off and about her little fantasy world, and Dax is playing along with it. Hopefully I got to get the sense of get Jak's annoyance with the whole situation. But this is where we get into the meat of the scene, and they get to go on their gun course.
This is a very unique cutscene. We have a new technology that me and programmer Amir came up with. We spent time figuring out a way to constrain the camera to an in-game car that's set on a path by Amir, and it drives through the desert on set coordinates. And I animated the whole scene with these two characters just sitting in a car, sitting still, talking to each other, just talking heads, basically. And I didn't know how it was going to work out. We didn't even know if it was going to work until we finally got it all into the game, and it turned out quite successful. It's really a cool scene. You get to see the background flying by. And it was used also in one of the other scenes after the fact, and probably will be used much more in the future.
I'll tell you when the action's coming.
In all these scenes, I had to fake the camera a bit and fake the area of the desert so that you don't know exactly where he falls, because this could happen at any point during the gameplay. And then at this point, we switch out to the high-res level from the foreground object that I was animating, and have Jack climb up the top of it. I faked it a bit and just showed him pop out at the end.
Got to give props here to Troy Adam for his kick-ass particle work with the wall of sand. This scene had an alternate version. We needed to show some sort of connection between Ashlyn and Jack at the end, and this one here was the original idea, which came up between a bunch of us, and there was another alternate that Neil, I kid you not, Druckmann came up with, where Ashlyn pulls down Jack's scarf. And it was a little more intimate, but this version works just as well.
And here we finally come to the outro of the game after a long struggle of many hours of gameplay. This scene is actually rather static. There's not a lot going on, it appears, at least in first glance, but really there's a lot going on in terms of technology. Actually, this scene, for the longest time, we were having a hard time with even trying to imagine doing with all the characters on screen. In fact, if you notice, some of these characters aren't exactly what they might appear to be. Kira, for instance, and Torn, if you actually watch them, if you notice, you'll pay attention, they're hardly moving at all, because basically the models were simplified to only have one joint of animation to minimize the streaming data, because we just couldn't have this many characters on screen at one time. And also, as you can see, the Otzels, the Precursors, they actually have environment mapping on them, and it causes a lot of problems in the DMA memory to have this much stuff environment mapped on screen. So this scene, as simple as it looks in terms of actual action, is incredibly complex. So here we go, watching these people sort of wrap up their little story here. Jack's about to leave and do his thing. It was really kind of a funny point that actually, up until the very last minute, we thought Jack was going to get on the Precursor ship and blast off into space for parts unknown, until we kind of talked about it, and Evan Wells had a good point that he thought, well, you know what actually we should do is we should ellipse back to the beginning of the game and have Jack change his mind just like Daxter did in the opening scene when suddenly when the desk clears, Daxter's there waiting with Jack because they're inseparable, and of course Jack is as well. So it was a nice circular storytelling idea, and it ended up being perfect. Finally, Daxter gets his payoff here. He's been talking about pants for 2 games. He finally gets his pants, thank goodness. And this crazy Precursor seems to want to turn everybody into a Precursor, so he's a little trigger happy, isn't he?
We get used to it.
So here we see that Tess gets turned into a Precursor Otzel as well, and so Daxter finally gets to get his little girlfriend, which is something we've been dancing around with for a while here, and what we're going to do with this problem.
And they're right.
Here we see Jack and the Precursors getting ready to leave. As you can see, Viger turned into a Precursor's kind of gotten his comeuppance too, and now he and Cleaver are going to be together, which opens up a lot of possibilities for the future in stories. Can you imagine these two together trying to rule the world? The stupid guy and the smart guy? So now Jack's really kind of getting his last moment of truth where he's being asked to go off and become this great superhero. And so this is how we end our tale after 5 years of storytelling and gameplay. We kind of wrapped up this whole experience in the universe, and but you know, Jack and Daxter are inseparable. They're just too good together. So
with all our adventures
this is keeping true to the franchise as well. And you have every scene we've got to end with Daxter just getting his punchline, getting his last moment and his last laugh. So after 3 great adventures, I think life is good.